Well, hello there, my fellow rushers. How are you doing today? King Rex here, and today we're gonna be doing yet another guide video. This one is gonna be in the original Kingdom Rush because there's one post-game level that I haven't done a guide video on because it is very easy, but I decided, you know what, some people are new to the game, so they may not know what they have to do, so we're gonna be doing Rotwick, on veteran, no levels with a free hero. And this is, I think, the last post-game level that I haven't done on veteran for some reason, so it's pretty fitting. Let's finish it off. We're gonna be using Malik for today because he deals area damage, and area damage in this level in particular is very important. Also, there is a nice hidden achievement, which I'm gonna show you while Malik makes his way up to this point. You see this piece of pizza over there? Just click on this thing and look at that. Splinter comes up and grabs it, and that way you can get a nice little achievement, just as an FYI. Anyway, what do we have? Skeletons and skeletal knights, and the same thing on this side. So we're gonna do an artillery. Mostly artillery is gonna be the main portion of our strategy, so let's go. The beginning of this stage is a little bit slow, not gonna lie. It kinda reminds me of Kingdom Rush Vengeance in a way. Like, the early game is just very dragging, let's just say that. I mean, look at that. Look at how long it's gonna take for these enemies to get to the artillery tower. It's gonna take them quite a while, and that's not the best thing. However, that's good in a way, because that way we can micromanage Malik a little bit more safely. Because if you don't know how to level up Malik quickly, all you need to do is just keep him up around a horde of enemies, just so he can use his ability consistently. Because even though his ability has 6 seconds cooldown, he needs to be surrounded by at least 3 enemies in order to trigger it. So you have to keep that in mind. Hence why we're gonna keep him up with the skeletons, and he's gonna keep on using it. And yeah, you know what, let's put them up in here, because both of these guys are meeting up, so look at that smack attack. We're gonna use the Rain of Fire on these guys though, because they are kind of tanky. You know, 480 HP and low armor, they can take some damage, so let's just get them out of the building real quick. What do we have on the next wave? Zombies and zombies! Wow, so original. Also, Malik almost died. Thank God he leveled up. He leveled up just at the right moment. Alright, you know what? Malik, use your Earthquake and smack. Then run up in here, because we're gonna need you. 30 zombies, that's perfect for Malik. The bigger the horde, the easier for him is going to be to use his first ability, which I keep forgetting the name of. I forget if it was called Hammer Smash or something like that. I don't know. I need to really learn up the names of some of these abilities, because even though I've been playing Kingdom Rush for like 8 years, probably even 9 at this point, I still don't remember the names of some abilities, mostly in the original Kingdom Rush. So, let's get the good old Tesla coil, because Tesla is boss, and most of you probably already know that. I think that Lightning Ruin made a quote-unquote review of this tower, and he specified in a decent detail as to why this tower is so good. And it is, like, this tower is one of the best. Especially if you're dealing with hordes of enemies, this tower shreds. However, it's not the best thing for single target damage. That's kind of its issue. You want to combine it with a tower that's good for single target damage, and let the Tesla just clean up the hordes of enemies. That's how you do it. However, I don't know, I think the Rangers are a little bit better because they have the potential to do true damage and to stall enemies quite consistently, while the Tesla, it only deals explosive damage, meaning that it ignores 50% of the armor, not the full armor. Even with its overcharge, which for the longest time I thought it dealt true damage. Turns out that it's explosive damage, so certified good bro moment, I guess. Anyway, already on to wave 3, finally. What do we have? Giant rats and more giant rats. Now these guys are kind of annoying because one, they're fast, and two, they can reduce the damage of your units, and they can poison them, dealing damage over time quite quickly. So they're kind of hard to stall, hence why barracks are not really recommended to use on this level, because the rats are just gonna shred right through them. However, Tesla is a pretty efficient counter to them, because they only have 120 HP, so a couple shots from the Tesla and they should be gone. Probably one if you have the overcharge maxed out, so look at that. Rats coming up, can we destroy them? The answer to that is yes, but as you can see, Malik gets poisoned, and his damage got reduced for a bit. So yeah, we have to be kind of keeping an eye on for that one. But sadly, we wanna level him up, so he kinda has to get into melee combat and fight. Which is just the way it is. We're gonna get the overcharge up to level 3, and we should be working towards our next tower. What is it going to be? That's a good question. To be honest, you don't really need that many towers on this level. I think that Crusader Snake did it with only 3 towers, which, you know, was pretty nice. I mean, yeah, he used the premium hero, I think he used Alora, but whatever, we're not gonna talk about that. So yeah, we could use like a very little tower, so I can beat it with 3 towers if I want to, but since I want this video to be pretty easy to follow, I'm not gonna go too hard on you. So, what do we have? Giant Rats, Skeletons, Skeletal Knights, and Giant Rats. So, Malik sucks against Giant Rats, because he gets his damage reduced and health drained, so we're gonna set him up in here. And we're gonna start on the next wave. We already have 342 gold, which is quite a bit. So, what are we gonna get? Well, believe it or not, I'm gonna go for a tower that I said is bad, but I feel like I'm gonna get just one. I'm gonna get a barrack. We're not gonna upgrade it up to like a super high level for now, at least. We're just gonna get it up to level 2. You know, just casual footmen, just so we can have a little bit of stalling power if everything comes down to the wire. Then we're gonna go for more artillery. We're gonna get 2 artillery towers. And the thing is that on this level in particular, you don't get any flying enemies, so you don't have to worry about those, which is pretty darn good. Oh, Malik was about to use his smack attack and I moved him out of the way. Well, that sucks. Speaking of sucks, yeah, he's getting up to very low HP. I guess Skeletal Knights are pretty OP. 20 to 40 damage every 1 second. Yeah. You know what, Malik? We have to retreat you. You have to move out of the way. Retreat to the back lines and heal up. He's gonna take like 4 seconds though, so that's okay. That's one of the very cool things about the heroes in the original Kingdom Rush. Each one of them takes about 4 seconds to fully heal, regardless of their HP or armor. Moving on. Zombies, zombies, and zombies. Wow, difficulty. Difficulty in its finest. Just send the same type of enemy over and over again. That's pretty much what Rotwick is. It just thinks that if it keeps on sending the same types of enemies in bigger hordes, it's gonna get difficult. Sadly, that's not the reality. That's not how it really works. You need to send a variety of enemies in order to make the player think, to consider his tower choices and hero choices and, you know, time his abilities. But in this case, you just use the Rain of Fire on any horde, pretty much. Like, sure, towards the last few waves, you kind of have to be precise with your Rain of Fire, because we're gonna get an enemy that's probably gonna make you lose lives if you're not careful, because with this level, it's so slow in the beginning that you pretty much feel like you got it in the bag. You're like, this level is so easy, man, nothing is gonna stop me. And then the last few waves come in and you're like, well, crap, I lost 7 lives or so. Which, you know, could happen, so keep that in mind. What do we have? Wargs. Low. Send out the next wave immediately, and we're gonna wait it out. I'm not gonna Rain of Fire this horde because it's getting annihilated, but we're gonna get Big Bertha, because Big Bertha is surprisingly good on this level, since we have nothing but hordes of enemies, and Big Bertha is great against those. So we're gonna Rain of Fire this horde up in here, right into the intersection, so that way we can clear up a lot of them. And then we're gonna go for another Big Bertha pretty soon. Maybe we can go for the Dragon Breath launcher, but I don't think it's gonna be needed, at least not now. Malik so far is doing pretty well though, wave 6 and he is already halfway through level 7, which is not bad. Usually Malik is one of those heroes that take forever to level up, but on this level you can level up pretty much any hero up to level 10, like literally any hero, which is quite nice. So yeah, we're gonna be waiting. We're waiting for the wargs to slowly make their way to their death, or in this case to our choke point. And as you can see, our choke point is holding itself off pretty darn well. We have no issues so far. What do we have? 7 zombies, wargs and skeletal knights, zombies and skeletons. So Malik, you know what to do, get over there. We're gonna try to, I'll try my best to rush the waves as often as I can, just so the video doesn't become like 30 minutes long, just like Ancient Necropolis. But Ancient Necropolis, unlike this level, is difficult. Well, this level, it really isn't. As long as you know what towers work on this level, then you're pretty much set. And maybe it's up to the hero choice a little bit, because heroes that excel at crowd control are gonna perform better than heroes that are better for single targets, at least on this level, because the toughest enemy that you're gonna get, I believe, is the Were-Rat, which we haven't seen yet, but we're gonna see him in a minute, in like a couple waves. And other than him, you don't really have many tough enemies, so heroes like Hexal are not gonna perform as good on this level as like Malik. which is really saying something. Like, when a free hero performs better than a $5 hero, then you know that this level is not the best. So yeah, next wave, nothing really interesting. Zombies, giant rats, and more skeletons with zombies. So difficult. What are we gonna get though? Well, since we're getting nothing but hordes upon hordes of enemies, we're gonna go for one cluster launcher. We're gonna go for this guy, all the way up. And then we're gonna go for a set of archers, mostly around here. We're gonna get another archer here and probably another one right up in here. The thing is that you have also these three tower points, or tower placements that you can put your towers in, but I don't really find them to be very useful. Like, what are you gonna even use them for? They're way out of your main choke point, which is right up in here, so... yeah, there's no real reason to do it. Maybe you can get like a Tesla to speed up the process, but I would not recommend it. Unless you have like a lot of money, then I suppose you can do it. So yeah, let's upgrade this archer up to level 3. So far the cluster launcher is doing okay. Malik is almost at level 10, which is obviously very good. He already has medium armor, so he can tank quite a bit of damage. He's not like the tankiest hero, but he has decent durability when he reaches his high levels, which sadly isn't very often. Only on levels like Rotwick, he's going to be able to reach level 10. So yeah, now we're getting enemies from all sides. What do we have? Zombies, 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 zombie, and more zombie. Wow. Wow, so difficult. So many zombies, guys. How are we gonna... Whatever will I do? Whatever shall I do in order to survive this apocalypse? Well, we have Big Bertus and Tesla. I think that's pretty much the answer. Like, I can see this being very difficult if you're using like barracks only, which I'm not quite sure if this level is doable with barracks only. I think that it may be if you use like a very strong hero like Elora or maybe Ignis, but I highly doubt it. Alright, now we're just gonna chill. We're gonna be chilling. We're gonna just take a look at the game playing itself. That's how I like it. When the computer just beats himself, pretty much. What are we gonna get now? Let's get this guy up to Ranger's hideout, because maybe Rat of the Forest will be useful for the what would you call it, the were rats. It could be useful. As far as the Dragon Breath Launcher goes, you can get it if you want, but I will not recommend it. I would say that Cluster Launcher is better on this level at least. What do we have? Were-rats, finally, and more were-rats. So yeah, now we get this enemy, and we're gonna get nothing but this for this wave, which is eh. So yeah, as you can see, they have decent HP. 540 is nothing to laugh at, and low armor, so they can rush through the Tesla quite quickly. So we have to be careful about that. The good thing is that Malik has this Earthquake ability, so he can stun a lot of them for a short period of time, which is good. It's usually just about enough to make the Tesla or the Big Bertha attack once again, which could make a difference. But as you can see, due to the fact that they deal poison damage, his health gets diminished very quickly, so you have to keep an eye out for that. Now we're gonna upgrade these guys up to level 3, because the more health they have, the better. Hence why we're gonna go for not Paladins but Barbarians, because they have better HP. And that's what we really need, because armor doesn't make a difference when you're dealing with an enemy that ignores it, right? Also, let's get the Rat of the Forest up to level 3, because why not? What do we have? Giant Rats, Were-Rats. Okay, Giant Rats, Were-Rats, and that's about it. Alright, Malik almost died, so that was bad. But it's okay. He's gonna regenerate, and we're gonna put him right back into the battlefield. We may even get the supercharged boat. I just feel a little nasty today, so I'm gonna get this upgrade. Even though most people will say that it's unneeded in the majority of situations, I would say that in a level like this, there really is there's no repercussion for doing that by any way, shape, or form. Now let's get the Barbarians finally. We're gonna put them up in here, and I think I'm gonna go for the throwing axe. Or should I? Well, to be honest, we don't really need range. Like, it will be useful, but I want to go for more axes, actually, because since the were rats are gonna just rush right to them, at least we're gonna do some pretty high melee damage, which is gonna help us clean them up a little bit faster. Alright, do we need Rain of Fire? Not really, because Cluster Launcher just obliterated this horde. As I said, this upgrade is quite useful on this level. Let's go for another archer now. We're gonna get this guy up to a ranger's hideout with Rat of the Forest, and we should be Gucci. Alright, what do we have? Wargs, giant rats, and were rats. Pretty much a joke. So let's wait for one set of reinforcements to pop up. In 3, 2, 1, and let's go. Alright, we should be fine for now. Oh yeah, I forgot that sometimes rats can just pop out of the ground, but that's okay. I mean, look at that. They weren't a threat at all, we just obliterated them. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's go for another Rat of the Forest, up to level 3, and we should be fine. Now, if you want to, you can move Malik anywhere you want, but at this point in the game, the best decision is to just leave him at the choke point. Keep him there and make sure that he is not very, you know, busy, because if you try to move him around a lot, you're probably gonna end up messing up a little bit, because he doesn't have the greatest mobility. So you'll be better off just keeping him at the back lines, right around your barbarians or paladins if you want to go for them. But as I said, due to the fact that rats and were-rats ignore armor with their poison attack, you don't really want heavy armored units. Barbarians have more HP, so they're technically the better option, at least for me. So let's get the Rat of the Forest first, and let's go for... I know I said I don't want the throwing axe, but at this point it's like, whatever. Let's just get it. They have some pretty decent range, so they may be able to snipe some enemies, which could be helpful. Moving on to wave 13, zombie, 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 zombie... Oh wait, that's a skeletal knights, my bad. Skeletons and skeletal knights. Pretty mundane, right? Yeah, it's very mundane. Well, what should we go for? Oh yeah, I forgot that skeletons can spawn up in here. You see, this level sometimes I just forget things about it, because it is very, how do I say it, uneventful. Like, sure, the biggest event is when you meet up with the were-rats, but other than that, it's just a joke. And also, let's take a look at Malik just destroying this horde. Look at that. Smack! Keep on smacking, Malik. Smack them up, just like that. Come on, Earthquake, please, please, Earthquake. Wait, actually no. You're gonna use it right up in here because they're more crowded up. Oh yeah, look at that. Smack, please. Nice. All right, thank you, Malik. You did pretty good. Let's go for the whirlwind, just in case. And what should we get next? And at this point, we're already on wave 13, so pretty much any tower that you get is gonna help out. But if I have to be honest, I'll go for just another Tesla, just to be safe. Tesla is by far one of the best choices that you can go for, so might as well get it. You can also go for a Big Bertha, but Big Bertha usually works best when it's combined with barracks, in order to pile up as many enemies as possible. While with the Tesla, it's not really necessary to add barracks, unless you're dealing with like super tough enemies, which you don't face any of those types in this level, so yeah. We're gonna go for the Tesla in a minute. What do we have? Were-rats, 42 of them, wargs, and more wargs. Alright, Tesla coil acquired, so let's move back to the choke point, and let's go. As you can see, yeah, the early game was pretty much the most annoying part, because not because it is difficult, but because of how long it takes for the enemies to just come to your towers and get destroyed. But other than that, this level is pretty meh. The only thing that you have to be worried about though is the were-rats. If you see that there's too many of them and they're starting to get past your choke point, don't be afraid to use the Rain of Fire. Because as you can see, I haven't used the Rain of Fire many times on this level. I think I used it like two times, maybe 3 times, and that's about it. I'm gonna start forgetting about the Rain of Fire at this point, but we can't, because the last wave could be kind of difficult because there's a lot of these guys. Even though now we're getting a pretty decent horde of them, it's not large enough to the point where we're gonna be struggling, because Big Bertha just annihilates them. And you know what, at this point, let's get a Dragon Breath launcher. It's not gonna help out that much, but it is a nice additional area damage every few seconds, so why not? Let's go for the supercharged boat up in here, just so we can hit more enemies. And yeah, as you can see, complete another annihilation. It is amazing. Now let's go for our last tower, I think. Maybe second to last. Let's go for a thingy. Let's go for another Tesla up in here. And we're gonna go for, you guessed it, another Tesla probably right up in here. But I don't think we'll have the money to do so. Alright, you know what, let's just place a level 2 bombard tower, why not? Last wave, were rats, giant rats with were rats, and more giant rats with were rats. Pretty easy, but as you can see, a lot of additional enemies are gonna spawn in, hence why we got our barracks earlier towards this side, just so you don't get surprised by skeletons, because sometimes the skeleton knight can spawn, so yeah, you have to be careful about that. Anyway, let's upgrade this guy up to level 3, just so we can do some damage. It's not gonna kill like these guys with one shot, but at least it's gonna do some damage, which is what we really want, just some additional damage, even if it's just a little bit. And yeah, so far we are shredding, yeah. Are we even gonna need the Rain of Fire? Let's find out, when the big horde of were-rats comes in. Are we gonna need it? Or is this level super easy, to the point where you don't really need the Rain of Fire? You know what? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna need it. Nope, not at all. We're shred. Amazing. Maybe we'll need it after a little bit, but I highly doubt it. Alright, Malik, retreat. Retreat for a little bit, because your health is getting low. And yeah, I think that's the last horde. Judging by the looks of it, yes it is. As you can see, guys, a surprisingly easy level. Oh wait, there's more. Ah, come on. Come on, Rotwick, end already. We all know that you're the most disappointing post-game level ever since Udo's Farmlands. So, can you hurry up and do some and finish? Can you do that? You know what? Just for the sake of it, let's just go for the poison arrows. Just so people don't complain that I have hundreds upon thousands of gold that I haven't spent. So, here you go, now I spend it. Are you happy? I hope so. There we go, finally it's over. As you can see, not a very difficult level. We didn't even really need the Rain of Fire that much. We only used it like a couple of times, but that's about it. A pretty easy level, just use mostly artillery, combine it with a couple of rangers and get a barrack at the back, just in case. And preferably use hero that deals area damage, just so you can have an easier time on this level. And yeah guys, well, with that out of the way, that's gonna do it for the video. Thank you everybody so much for watching, I appreciate you for sticking around to the end. Subscribe if you want to see more of this content in the future, and while you're at it, drop a like on the video, it means a lot to me. And I will see you in the next video. Until it comes, that was King Rexy, over and out.